It's just a miracle. It's a miracle of God is the only thing that is going through my mind, really.
Went to the floor. He was no longer breathing.
It kind of felt like, you know, when you're in bed and you stand up too quick and you get lightheaded. It felt kind of like that, and then just kind of went black.
He had gone into full cardiac arrest. If an event like this is to happen and you want a person to be taking care of you, I'll pick someone like Mike Williams.
Most of all, we thank Mike Williams. He saved my brother's life, and I thank God for him.
I want to thank Mike Williams, obviously, for everything that he did. His knowledge and his experience saved my life.
He's the last person on the planet that would expect any kind of recognition.
A Christmas time like no other for Danny Berger, and now I'm thrilled to be able to introduce you all to Mike Williams, Utah State's trainer.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it. No problem.
What a week.
Yeah, a lot of stress, a lot of tired people, but very positive ending. So it's good to be here.
Absolutely. So obviously, Danny's the star here, and the fact that he's okay and should be playing at some point down the road is remarkable. But how has the community embraced you?
You know, they've been very supportive at our game last night. They had some signs up, and I was very appreciative of that. And again, I try and direct it all towards Danny, just because the kid put up such a hard fight through all of this. But everywhere I go, I can't go anywhere without, you know, stopping and talking for 20 minutes, and that'll die down, you know. So it'll be, but it's been unbelievable, the outpouring, the people that have called, you know. The Utah Jazz, Gary Briggs called, said whatever you guys need, our organization wants to kick in. They want to help out and do what they can. Across in the field of athletic training, I've been getting calls and emails across the country that have been very, very supportive and been very appreciative of all of that.
And I know, you know, it's what you've been doing for 14 years up in Logan, and beyond that with all the study, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, in your quiet moments in the last couple of days, does it hit you that you saved a life?
Today I had a little bit of time to think about it, and it almost feels surreal, you know, like it didn't really happen, because you see Danny at the game, he's up and he's around and he's fine, and so so much of it was just a blur, but it was good to be a part of the whole situation, the whole team that stepped in and helped him out.
What do you remember most vividly about those first few seconds when you said, hey, what's going on over there?
You know, I remember bits and pieces. I remember starting the CPR. I remember.
So you saw him collapse, or did I mean?
I saw him as he hit the ground. I didn't see him start to. There was a group of people, you know, they were in the team thing, and then he kind of hit the ground, and I started to walk down there, and then I could tell it was something serious. So I ran down there. I knelt down, said, "You okay?" Danny talked to us. "You stay with us, Danny." 911, get the AED, and I felt the pulse initially. But that was for about a second, it seemed like, and then he started to turn blue. So he was gasping for air. As soon as he quit with that, I just started the mouth-to-mouth and the compressions, the CPR. And after that, it's kind of a blur. I just remember going back and forth, mouth-to-mouth compressions, and putting the AED on. And
we have the AED here, and for people to understand, I mean, the difference between what the heart was stopped for a minute or two. If it's 3 minutes, it's not good. If it's 5, it's really not good.
Right.
I mean, this is a question of seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, the AED was hooked up and had shocked him in under 2 minutes, and it was around a minute and a half according to the readout. The AEDs keep track of all of that stuff for you as far as time, and from the time that the AED was put on to the time that it was shocked was roughly 35 to 40 seconds, which is, or that's from the time the lid on the AED was open to the time it was shocked. So, and it took a few seconds to actually open the pads and put the pads on him.
Right.
So he was, and I was there in less than 10 seconds. So it was pretty unbelievable, you know. And our student manager, Jesse, and I talk all the time about, you know, first aid, and if I need the AED, you're the guy, go get it. So he was on top of all of that. And Coach Feger handed it to me, said, here, and from there it was just kind of a blur of activity.
Let's just show everybody what it looks like. I mean, it's light, you know, I don't know, what, 20 pounds, 25 pounds?
Yeah, they're really, really light. They're portable. They actually come smaller than this, and they're simple to use. You basically just, all I did was open the pads, put the pads on him, stand back, it does the rest of it. So and you can't get them on soon enough.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what.
Yeah.
If I had to choose that or CPR, I would choose that every time now. And it'll analyze, it'll tell you when to shock. Some of them you push the button, the one that we use there, it does it all for you. It's really, anybody could do it.
So you have a new love for that little guy.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure I'll go anywhere. You know, Danny's gonna have one in his chest now, so
That's right.
So he's got a portable one.
Yeah, let's get into the feeling of relief at the hospital when you first realized, you know, not only is he going to be okay, but I mean, he could play later this season.
Yeah. You know, the first time at the hospital I remember relief was after they took all the tubes and everything out, and I went in and he could actually talk. And you went in and you shook his hand and talked to him. Up until then, it was pacing the halls, you know,
right.
Coaches coming and going. Coach Morrow was there, and we were talking. I'm like, Coach, I'm not comfortable till I see him standing in front of me, moving around. And it's unbelievable from where he went, you know, Tuesday at 3:15, whatever it was, to Saturday night, seeing that show at the game of the appreciation that the fans gave to him.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this earlier in the week on the air. I mean, if he's on a hike, let's say he's crossing campus, back in his dorm, any of those things, and it could be tragic.
Yeah, very, very. You know, if we'd have been anywhere but where we were, other than in an emergency room, there's a very real chance that he would have died. And that's the scary part of it, is he was that close, and so many things just had to click and go right. And I talked to him yesterday just about the team of, you know, Jesse knowing what he was doing, I know what I was doing, you know, Coach Fieger handing me the AED, to the ambulance, to the campus police, to the hospital. Everything just went the way it had to for him to survive. And what it came down to, like I told him yesterday, was the only thing we really did, Danny, was we gave him a chance to fight, and he did. He fought and he won that. So that's a credit to him.
Let's talk about his immediate future, because, I mean, in terms of playing, it's crazy that we're even talking about it. He will play again, right? I mean, barring some...
You know, the cardiologist said there's no reason he shouldn't play.
Unbelievable.
You know, he's
this season.
He could. He's got to convince his mom, you know, and that's, I've told Danny and I've talked to Coach, the biggest thing is your health. You've got to, they've attached those wires to his heart. That has to all scar down and be healthy. So he'll be in a sling for, you know, 3 to 4 weeks. Or actually he'll be in a sling for a few days, but he can't raise his arm for 3 to 4 weeks. So there is a chance, but it's a matter of how much is that going to push it. If it's pushing it, then no, you're not. We won't play this year. We'll sit you out.
You've got a pretty good argument for a red shirt.
Oh yeah, very, very solid. I can't see the NCAA saying no on this. He fits into every category on that one.
Just tell us the lessons maybe that this has given you a tremendous forum. We were talking about this. These are lessons that are learned in a really good situation, not through you know, a disaster.
Exactly. You know, the biggest thing is communication and education. We have AEDs, we have certified athletic trainers with all of our sports, but until you've been there and actually used that, it's a different experience. And you need to let other people know. All of our coaches at Utah State, we certify all of them in CPR. So having Coach Felton there that offered, hey, if you get tired doing compressions, I can take over, let me know. So, you know, that's a comfort for me, knowing that if I do get tired, then they can take over and they can step in. So educating people to what this is. We were talking a few minutes ago about our players always see it and they're like, you're bringing that in case somebody dies. And, you know, now some of them are like, well, what does it do? How do you use it? Show us that.
Can I get one?
Yeah, exactly. So now it's about education, and everywhere should have these, and they need to be close to wherever you're playing. And people that, even if they're not certified athletic trainers, they need to know how to use them, and they need to know how important they actually are.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you under any circumstances, but much better that we meet under these. And congratulations.
Well, thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have followed the story. We're all just amazed.
Yeah, it's grateful. You know, Danny's such a great kid, and their family was so solid. It was impressive and inspirational to see that, and I'm just grateful I could be a part of that. And sorry it happened. I would rather it didn't.
Right.
But I'm glad it had the ending it did.